Stitcher. Today is Monday, September 22nd. It's been 2 weeks, which was unintentional, but last week was just busy getting ready for me to go to a retreat and all of the things with my children. As you know, if you're returning, I have 3 kids and they have schedules of things, and so it was just, I don't even know what I did, to be quite honest with you. I have a lot of things around here to show, so hopefully it will be semi-organized. We will see how it goes because I don't really have an agenda today. I did attend this past weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Stitch Florida, which is hosted by Annie, the Proper Stitcher, and Alicia, the Fanciful Flamingo. It was in Altamont Springs, Florida, which is just 20 minutes from me. So I was able to go back and forth between my house and the retreat, which was helpful because Thursday I had to go and Friday, I had to go and get my car that was being repaired. Thursday, my youngest daughter had a family chapel. So there was lots of other things kind of playing into it, but I was able to get people to help me pick the kids up after school so I could stay. And it was a really fun time. And I'll share some of the things that I purchased, some of the table gifts, and talk a little bit more about the retreat towards the end, just in case that's not something that interests you. But I do want to say, and let me see if I can get the exact dates, but the retreat next year will be hosted again by them. It's in Florida, and oops, I went too far. It is going to be in June, and it's going to be June 18, 19, and 20th. And the sign up, I believe, is live on Alicia's website, which is the Fanciful Flamingo. And I am going to make myself a note here to link the sign up. So if you are at all interested, if you live in Florida, there are people who come from out of state, you can go and sign up, and that is live. There is no designer, but Annie, the Proper Stitcher, and Chrissy, finally a farm girl, Chrissy is local, Annie is not, but she comes and is helping to host, and they both, and you'll see in my bag, they provided a chart for the retreat. So you get those charts, but there's not a specific designer. It's more come, hang out, stitch. The weather, I mean, it's warm, but it's not unbearable. It might be a little warm in June, but that's okay. You stay inside and you stitch. And there is a nice lake behind, or pond, whatever, behind. It's called Crane's Roost, and you can walk all the way around, and there's lots of shopping, food, all kinds of things all around right there. And then also she has a vending area, but my LNS, which is Needle Orts, is also just 5 minutes away, so you can go to pick things up there. And there's a couple other stores that if you wanted to take a trip, they're both, one is an hour and the other one, I think it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. You could always go over to those stores as well, but there is some shopping on the premises you can do. So that is kind of in a nutshell what's been happening. I did want to, before I get started, I did want to talk to, or go back over the giveaways. So the giveaways I announced in the last video, I did hear from 2 people, and those are going out in the mail today or tomorrow. I have not had a chance to get them to the post office. And that was Melanie Wood and Joan. I heard I'm getting those in the mail. But the first 2, one of them, which was the Scary Apothecary charts, the winner was Southern Louisiana Stitcher. And I have not heard from you. And also for the JBW book, Lisa Schwartz is the winner. So if that is either if either one of those are you, if you can send me an email to sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com with your address and what you won, I will get those in the mail. And if you did, I did not get your email for those two. But like I said, for the Hands Across the Sea and the quilt one, I did get those. I also wanted to go ahead and right now announce the winners from excuse me, sorry. I wanted to go ahead and give the winners for last videos just to go ahead and get that out of the way. So if you're a winner, send me an email to sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com and I will get these mailed out as soon as you get them. I should be able to run to the post office this week whenever I need to. Or it will be early next week. We'll see, depending on when I get the email. So, number one, the stitch cards. The winner is District Stitcher. Quaker Snitbits. The winner is Sharon Edmondson 2923. Autumn Trio. The winner is Linda Norris 2869. And the Sock Journal, the winner is PNW Crafter. So if those are any of you or whoever, send me the email and I'll get them in the mail. So I have those there for you. Now, to what you've all come for, the stitching in the haul and all the things. So I did bring with me, I wanted to share because I forgot, I don't even know where I found these. I did find my 2 crochet pieces that I had finished last time and I couldn't find them. So this is I linked her videos last time. This is the hexagon that I am going to be, I forgot to put the picture too of the blanket I was going to make with the hexagons, but I believe this is called a sunburst hexagon. And so I did make that. This was just, I was trying to follow the video, and the person who makes this pattern, she does an amazing video walking you step by step on how to make these. So the blanket, I keep wanting to say quilt. The blanket that I plan to make with the hexagons is in some yarn that I had got last time. And then this, which I don't know if I even tied this tail off. This is the Sunburst Granny Square that I learned how to do. And this is by the same person. And again, I followed step by step her video on how to make this. And so I am debating on using the MoonGlow Advent, which I believe she still has some available if you're interested. And I will show you my other knitting project with the MoonGlow yarn. I am debating to use the Advent skeins to make something similar to this, where I would make a bunch of these in the different colors and then put them together in a blanket. Or do I want to make a knitted blanket with the MoonGlow Advent, which I received that. I don't think I showed that I had gotten it, but I did get that, and I got it in the DK weight, which is what you would use for a blanket. Some people, I think, use it for sweaters. I'm still learning on what you use the different weights for, but it's been fun, and I think I said this in another video, it's been a nice kind of break to break up my stitching. And I've also just kind of been in like some weird, I'm busy, I want to stitch, but I don't want to stitch. And with all of the things with the dog and the car and I don't know. But it's been nice to have some kind of creative outlet so I have something to do with my hands, keep my mind occupied on something else. And that also goes back to the quilting, which I haven't gotten any farther on that. But I need to be creating, and that is another outlet to create on top of the stitching. So I wanted to show those to you because I found them. All right, now I am just going to start pulling up whips, and hopefully I have worked on them all. I honestly, and if you are a longtime viewer, you'll probably be laughing because normally I am much more organized than this. I don't have any finishes, but I do have some whips. What I worked on, like I said, I don't really know, except for what I'd worked on this weekend. So the first one is I was working on Kindness Makes Friends. And I did start this on, this is Salty Lake, I believe. Yep, Salty Lake 36 count by Count on Linen. And pretty sure what I was able to accomplish was getting a lot of this house done. So I had a little bit of this done, and I was able to get all the windows in. I stitched the door, which I changed the color a little bit, and then I was working on putting some of the bricks in. I did decide, and I brought this other piece with me to the retreat. I didn't get a lot done on it, but I decided to pull out the gather in because I did decorate my house for fall. And so I wanted to put in some more work on gather in. So I put this down. I would like to get back to this, but now I have a model stitch I started yesterday. And so I don't know how much, we'll see how much personal stitching gets done. I don't know, because I do want to try and focus on that and get some of that done so I'm not leaving it till the last minute. All right, I don't know if I worked on this more or showed this since I had, but I did have, this was in my basket to keep going on. Gather Together. Of course, I saw all of Annie's models, and I will have put some pictures at the beginning of this, and this was there as well. This is very close to, I need to do this whole side, which it doesn't take a whole lot of time together, and then the border, and I'm pretty sure this whip would be finished. So this might be one that I try to put kind of squeeze in between what I would like to work on for the model stitch. Let's see what else is in here. Okay, I didn't do any more on that. That was Autumn Trio. These are things I had in my bag that I'm pretty sure I was working on prior to going to the retreat. I do have a couple things I did at the retreat too. Okay, so today is the 22nd, and I am going to get this video up as soon as I can. Let me go look right now. I believe that this is, I want to say tomorrow's the last day to order this. Let me see if I can quickly find. Okay. I might have to go back. I feel like I saw somewhere, the chart that I'm talking about is Scarecrow Lane. And this is an exclusive in the Homespun Needlework group. Oh, here we go. Okay, the exclusive is ending on September 27th. So today is the 22nd, and the 27th is on Saturday. So if you are watching this before Saturday the 27th, and I think you can still order on the 27th, you can still get this. In the homespun needlework, let's read the whole title. Homespun needlework cross stitch samplers. If you order this, you will receive it. They get a lot of orders for this, for any of the exclusives that they do. Julie Crosave is who runs the group. And it's packaged and shipped by a store, which this one came from Shepherd's Needle, Anne. And if you order it, you will receive it. But like I said, it's not going to ship tomorrow if you order it today, because they're working through all of their orders. They get a lot of the orders on the very first day. So beware, if you're ordering it, you might wait a little bit, but it is totally worth the wait and you will get the kit. I promise. So this was the kit, and it's for the sampler, and I don't think there's a picture of it, but there's a drum as well that is in there. And in the kit, the drum, there's finishing things for the drum. It comes with a little notebook. Oh, that's a quote. It comes with a little notebook. It comes with the floss and the fabric. And the fabric was 36 count Hawthorn by Needle and Flax. And the piece I got, this Hawthorn, some of the modeling was a little bit, it's different than than some other Hawthorn I had at home. And I liked the piece I had at home better for this specific one. So I just went in my stash and ended up, it's still Hawthorn, but it just, the modeling was a little bit different. I did not get very much done, but I did get it started. And these are the beautiful colors that Teresa uses. There's a couple DMC and the rest are weeks. And I decided to start right in the middle so that I could get over to the house. So all I have gotten so far done is the pumpkin, and then I was moving over to the house. And it's just so pretty. So that is 36 count Hawthorn by Needle and Flax, and then the lovely colors. And so this all I have housed in this lovely big tree bag. I did purchase this at the retreat. This was from Deb Pryor. I bought this bag, so I thought I'm going to put it in here. I wanted to share that first, but I thought that was perfect to put my Scarecrow sampler in. So if you are interested in that, it is an exclusive. You do only have until the 27th to purchase it, but you can buy it. And you can only buy it as a kit. I'm sure next year Teresa will release it as a pattern, but for right now, that's how you can get it. All right, the other things I worked on, I did bring my beautiful, the first day I had brought a different bag, but then I brought my bag from Nicole Patterson, which was wonderful. It is very big, and I can fit a lot of stuff in there. Okay. So the next thing that I worked on was, where's the pattern? This was in my, this way. In that basket, it says ready to stitch. And so I just kind of, as things have been coming up that I've been wanting to work on, if they're kitted, I put them in there. And I have other places that have kits, but these are kind of like, I see it, or someone else is doing it or whatever. And I want to put that in there so I can easily get it. And I don't even know. I had this pattern. I don't know how it ended up in this basket. But it's called Heart of the Home Sampler, and it's by Brenda Gervais. It's really pretty. It has greens, browns, blues, white. It's very, very pretty. And I don't know what was drawing me to it, but I thought this would be a really good one to get started. Where did the linen go? Here it is. Like I did start it. Oh, good grief. So this is the floss. So as you can see, really pretty, soft colors. And I'm stitching this on 36 count Beach Brew by R&R. And let me see. Okay, this is how it goes. So I was able to, here's the floss on there. I was able to get almost the whole border stitched. So I need to, this green part is also up here. So I need to get back, or that's the next step. And then I'll work on, I mean, there's some more stuff in the border, but I just wanted to get the basics of the border in. And that will be a really pretty everyday piece to keep out. So I was excited to get that started. And that was one of the fun things. I didn't know it was going to be like this, but going back and forth between my house and the retreat, I was able to change my mind, switch up what I was stitching. The next one I'm going to show, I saw somebody at my cousin's table was stitching it, and I could have swore I'm pretty sure I have the pattern sewn on. Couldn't find it, but I really wanted to work on it. And so I bought the PDF and kitted it up and took it and worked on it on Saturday. So I was able to go ahead and get that going. I do have this pattern is housed in, I got a folder. This is also from Deb Mentor. And it's in the, I think this is the Sacre blue with the birds. It's pretty. I took this with every intention of starting it. This is the Anne Speakman by Annie. And I didn't end up starting it. I did decide after seeing Annie's model, I did not have the called for linen, and I decided I did want to use the called for linen, so I did order a piece of that, and so when that comes, I will get that going, but I really wanted to use that linen because it has some really pretty modeling, so I ended up not starting that, but that is on my list of things I would like to start. Uh-oh. All right, the next piece I worked on, which this is also, it turned into, some people are going to do it as a birthday sal, I believe, so be on the lookout. I won't say who yet, but I had the gather in already going. This was a whip. And so before the retreat, I was working on it a lot, and then I did do a little bit of fill-in at the retreat. Not a lot because I was talking, and then I decided I wanted to start. I think I worked on this on Thursday, and maybe I worked on something else on Thursday too, or just this. And then I think I just worked on this Thursday. So this is how far I got. And I did not do all of this Thursday. So what I had when I picked it up last week was I had the house and the barn or whatever this is. And this part was done. I worked on getting the flag in, doing a little bit more of the stars over here. I did this whole cart and girl and this here. And then at the retreat, I did a couple of the flowers, and I was working on filling in the white, which that is Arrowhead. My goodness, I'm sorry. That was Arrowhead by weeks. And the variegation there's a lot of it, but it's very pretty and it gives the building a lot of dimension, if you can see. And then the lady, and there's a couple other little things, and I forgot her feet. I need to get that. My goal, it was and still is I'm trying to do all of the parts, everything except for the fill-in. And I know I do not like fill-in, and I've voiced that before, but I figured if I get everything else done, then I can use it if I do a Zoom. I am going to a one-day retreat in November, which I could be already working on something else. We'll see. But I figured that would at least be a good something to pick up. Or if I'm tired at night, which is what is during the week, that's what's seeming to happen. I can just pick that up and put in a couple strands, and then it will get done. So I don't know how quickly we will get it done, but whatever. I've already showed this, but I wanted to share it again. This was my bag that I made using Carrie Tiger Lily's Starburst pattern. She taught at the Harvest Moon Hangout this weekend. And unfortunately, I was not able to get on to go in any of the rooms. It was just, there was too much going on when I got home. But this is the pattern I was looking for. I know I have it. I just could not find it. But someone, and I believe her name is Kathy, who was sitting at my cousin's table, she was stitching this, and she had finished filling in the house. And the house is so pretty. The color is beautiful. And that's really what I'm like, okay, I want to get that out. So this is what I worked on Saturday for most of the day. This is on 36 count. Oh, good grief. To picture this plus Heartland. And I wanted to work on the house, so I started from the bottom, and I got the house to like an outliney. I didn't want to go all the way up the sides because I wanted you to really see the variegation. So I got it started and then got the windows filled in. So now I just have to go back and forth. But that's the house. And then I started on the vines going up. And in true, I feel like Stacy and Paulette very much. It's not huge, but it is a lot of stitching. So I figured this too would be a good pickup kind of in between my model that I'm working on. All right. Let's see. So that is, let me just see what is in this bag. I think I took, okay, there's nothing in this bag. All right, that is all of the projects that I worked on. Oh, this was my needle point I didn't have last time to show you. I did not work on this anymore, but this was my needle point I had. Maybe I did show this, but I'll show it again just in case. This, my goodness, all the things. This was my needle point I was working on. So it's fun. It will be turned into a tag I'll put on a bag. So I figured that, and then I have the big Florida one is at the store she's painting a border around it, because that's going to be, when I work on it and finish it, that's going to be turned into a pillow, like a shaped pillow. So they were painting a border for me on that and putting it on some scroll bars so that would be easier. But I've kind of using the needle point as like just some extra things. There is like a bag, a little clutch that I have bought that I want to stitch or I guess stitch, you do needlepoint and then have it finished into, probably professionally finished, into an actual clutch. And so just things that I can use to put on my bags, or I did the little ornament. So nothing too crazy, because stitching, and even though I've gotten into the quilting too, the knitting and the crocheting, I mean, I still come back to the cross stitch, and that is definitely my constant, you could say. All right, let me show you some of my haul, and then let me leave this here. I will go into some of the stuff from the retreat. So one of the things that I received back as haul is I had sent some fabric to someone who makes these bags. This is a sew together bag. And I had her make me a bag in this Tilda fabric. And she did an awesome job. And I can link the shop below. Her name is Nancy, and her shop name is escaping me, but I can put that below if you're interested. And so on the sides is this. And then on the inside, I just had her use some gingham and just kind of like some more solid colors. And it has 3 zipper pouches, but I got this thing all filled up. This was a strawberry I bought at the retreat from Deb Pryor. And this came in handy. I also sent some fabric, some of the Blackbird Wild Orchid fabric, to another bag maker to make me another one in that fabric. This bag is called the Sew Together bag. I have made one a while ago in my stitching journey. In my opinion, is a very finicky bag to make, and I would rather have someone else make it where I am not getting frustrated trying to sew it together. And there's other bags that I can make, and I still buy things from people to support their businesses, and because I like the fabric and I'd rather stitch than sew. But that bag in particular, if you can make that, you are doing good. So, but I love it. I love this fabric. This is part of the Wallflowers fabric. The teal color here, that was something I had picked up. It's still Tilda, but it's from an older line, and I had it left over from some other bags I was making, but I was kind of mixing and matching that. So that was one of the things. Then I also got, let's see. Oh yeah, these are the fabric. These are the extra fabric. So I'm thinking I might make a project bag with them, just to have kind of a coordinating bag. But these are the fabrics that I sent her to use. And there was also a yellow gingham, which I'm thinking she must have used. But that was fun to put that together and send that off. I also received, she didn't, it's right here. I told you this would be we're not sure. This is called Flintstone. Flintstone. This is the color and cotton of the fabric of the month from, I think it's September. But I got that in the mail. And then, I love this. I love Diet Coke. So these were some needle minders I saw. It says, "Life happens, Diet Coke helps." I thought that was really cute. And I did, after watching a couple different friends, I did go on to the Freckle Whimsy on her shop. And I did order, because I have yet to start anything with socks. And so I thought this would be a fun one. This is self-striping, And it was a monthly from August 2025. This was like an extra. And this is called Fancy Pants. And so I thought that this might be fun to try to cast on a sock. So I did order that. And my friend Jody, which I feel like we all feel the same about cross stitch, is she tagged me in a post the other day that said, buying yarn and using the yarn are two different hobbies, which I completely agree. Because I am getting quite the stash of yarn. I'm trying to resist, but such is life. This, I don't think I had this one. This was the other one I was waiting on from the Stitchery, the other embroidery kit. This is 'Tis the Season. They both have the elves, the other one I showed as well. And so I got both that were available now. And that's another hobby to start and work on. I just cannot help myself. All right, this was the September Needle Minder of the Month Club from Flamingo Toes. This was the pattern, and in the box you get the pattern for the embroidery and the stitching, and you get the needle minder and the floss to complete the pattern. So right now I'm just kind of collecting these, and we'll probably get to them. The stitching is a pretty easy stitch. So I also thought maybe if it might be too hard for if like my middle daughter in particular wanted to try any stitching, but later on it could be a good one. All right, I also ordered from Happy Little Stitch Shop, Angela, some 36 count One More reproduction. This is the linen I was using for, I think it's what I have for my dwelling place, which I don't know where. I keep forgetting to show you guys. I started that, but I was doing it on 40, and I love, love, love the coloring. And this is by Bestitch Me. And so I wanted to get a piece of 36 count to use for something. And then she also had, Angela with Happy Little Stitch Shop, this is called Cold Brew by Shakespeare's Peddler, and I thought it was a pretty neutral. And I keep telling myself to stop buying linen, but at some point there will be enough, but that isn't today. I also purchased, so Sampler Guild of the Rockies is doing I think this is the challenge. Yeah, this is the challenge. And so these are the 9 pieces that they have as part of the challenge. They're all patriotic. And Christine with Hollis Hands Create, she kitted these all up if you were wanting to stitch one of them for the guild. And so I have a couple of them already. I have one of them is done. And this is the one. I had the pattern. And I had a kit that I had purchased from the attic, but I wasn't really crazy about the linen. And so she was kitting it with platinum from Weeks with Dinky dyes. And so I bought that kit because that's one of the things that I did want to. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Getting text messages. It was one of the things that I wanted to work on. And these are all, as you can see, patriotic. And I might get out. I'm kind of considering also working on this bottom one. I do not have it started yet. I do have a small start on all 3 of these in the middle. This one I finished. So, we'll see. I have every single one of the, I do not have this pattern, but I have all the other patterns. So we'll see, but that's what's in my basket from my haul. And then I think, let's see. Oh, I did get these. I have a couple Happy Meals, and so I want to leave that to talk in more in depth. I did get these from Little Robin Designs. And she also, for this one, she shows it on the back, also on the lighter fabric. What else is down here? Okay. Oh, I got this was part of, I bought this. I don't know when I'm going to do something like this, but this was a knitting doodle directory, and it has all kinds, and doodling is like when you're knitting and making the different designs. And so this has all kinds of different ideas, and I just figured that's something that's interesting to me, and I figured I would get the book and then we can go from there. But this, I've already looked at it, and it looks like a great book to have some different ideas, and it just has also some general knitting things in here. So I just got that the other day. That is all of my, and one more thing. So this has an actual, it's not very much to show. I did cast on this blanket, but this was the MoonGlow Autumn Festival, I think. I already forget what it is called, but it's available right now from MoonGlow Yarn, and I bought the DK pack, and I kicked them up, and I am making a blanket. I am attempting to make the blanket that is called a Bounce Blanket by Tin Can. These are some of them. Tin Can Knits. And I have, the only one I've even started is just a basic garter stitch, which is just the basic knit stitch back and forth. And so this is challenging. And the first 4 rows you knit, though, are all just a knit stitch. So I'm currently working on that. That's what's on the needles. And then when I get to the lace work, and I'll put a picture right here of what it's supposed to look like. When I get to the lace work, that's where I need to spend some time. So when I was working on it the other night, I hadn't got the first 4 rows done, but I felt like I wasn't in a space to be trying to figure out what I was doing. And I also got, this is a swing handle basket from 1803 Farmhouse Baskets. I love her baskets. And it fits, everything fits perfectly in here. This was part of my table gift. And so I have like my knitting notes in here. This is one of the notebooks I got from Rifle Paper Company. But I've just been like making notes about different things. So I'm keeping that in my basket with my project. And yeah, it's been fun. Something new to learn. All right, I also received, this was from Crazy Annie's. And I am getting this is the Nutcracker Forever series by Annie B's Folk Art. And these 8 and 9 are the charts that I got. And I do have these for giveaway as well. And I was maybe at Christmas I will get to it. I still haven't started them, but I really want to at some point make those and have a special tree with just the Nutcracker things and maybe some other ornaments that kind of go with the same color scheme. Maybe that's where I'll put some of the needle point ornaments that I make. But we shall see. All right. I also, and let me find, I thought I had a card. So this was some sweet happy mail. Here we go. That I received from Missi Lynn Co. And this is the card. And I will put a link to the Facebook group below. Her Facebook group is called Missi Lynn Co. And on there, she sells bags. This is like a flat bottom bag. Beautiful. Oh, that is going to be a giveaway. She also has, this is a more of like a project folder, and when you open it up, it has space for lots of projects. And one of my table mates, Beth, she has one of these, and I have some other ones as well, but Melissa was so sweet to send this to me, and I love this fabric. But Beth brought this to the retreat we just had, and this is the only thing she brought with all of her projects in it. And it gets rather large, but she had so much stuff in here. So I have never, and I believe my friend Jody, Simply Stitching Ocala, she's used this to take to a retreat before. But you can really load this thing up with lots of stuff. And just the fabric is so pretty. And I want to say this fabric is Shoreline by Three Sisters, because I was trying to look it up. And then she knows I like Blackbird. And this is, I think this is, forget what they're called. I want to say this is just maybe a project folder, because this one, it doesn't have the handle on the side, and on the inside it just has the two pockets. It doesn't have that middle part, but it also fits lots of things in there. So I was excited to get this as well. So I'm keeping the two folders, and then the bag is going to be used for a giveaway. All right, so again, Missi Lynn Co. And if you are interested, she also sells project or stitching mats. And then I'll give a little more about that if whoever the winner is, something else that you can also do. All right, that is all of my regular things. Now I wanted to just share some of the things from the retreat that I got, bought, all that kind of stuff. So at the retreat, let's see, this was our bag with this cute little scissor fob. And let's see, some of my gifts I put in here as well. And some of them I don't know who they're from. So, all right. So in the bag was some fun sunglasses. This is one of the patterns. This was the one from Finally a Farm Girl. Matilda in her flamingo float. We got some, I think these were in the bag, needles. And this was the design from Annie, the Proper Stitcher. And I'm not sure what else was in the actual bag. Like I said, I put a bunch of other things in here. So these are the other things. This was a door prize I won. These are from Missy and Kathy, 2 needles pulling thread. They made, this was Missy's a project card, and Kathy, yeah. So they have all the stuff you can put on the back. A floss wand from, I don't know, someone. This was from, I believe this was also from Missi. And maybe this. Some of these were already on my table when I got there. So this is to make apple cider. And then these were floss, and then some cards that you can use as floss drops. Oh, I believe these were also in the bag. These are from Jersey Girl Stitch Co. And so she had made some of those. A paper fan. This, I believe, is from Jenny, who's one of the bougie stitchers. A flamingo bracelet. This was from Teresa, the Garden Goose Stitcher. So it was in this bag. This was really fun. It was like a bag of everything mini. And let me get them one of the things I was using the whole time. It was quite useful. So in the bag, oh goodness, where is it? Maybe it's in here. Where is it? Oh, here we go. It's in my sew together bag. So in the bag was this little tin, which you could use to put things in. I used it as a little Ort container. It was perfect size. It fits in my bag. And so now this is part of my stitching bag. She also gave us the little teeny tiny thing of Tic Tacs, a teeny tiny hoop, which I think I'm going to use this to make one of the, you can make like an Ort bag and a trash can, and then you can magnetize this to your stitching stand. This cute little pin cushion, and then the little mini Kohanas. So that was really fun. That was from Teresa McMath, who is the Garden Goose Stitcher. And she was at my table. And this was from Annie, the Proper Stitcher. And I already ate the chocolate covered pretzel that was in there. That was amazing. She gave us this. And also this floss holder. And let's see. This was from Beth, who she also goes by Ariel. She was at my table. She had made these name things, or had these made out of wood. And in the bag, she had some high chews. And this, oh my goodness. There was a pen also. I was wanting to find one of these made because I did not want to have to try to make it myself. But this was in the bag. A strawberry little pouch. And she said that Stephanie, the New England Stitcher, is who made them. I was so excited. And inside of the pouch was a whole bunch of fun things. So there was a little floss fairy. There were some magnets. There's a little nail file. Oops. A charm. A threader, which I need to put one of these in my just to go bag because I always am needing that. Some pony needles. Mini scissors, some Advil, and a paper clip. And I thought that was so clever. And like I said, I was so excited to get this little bag because I have been wanting, I keep seeing people making them. And again, I'm sure I could make it, but It's more fun when someone else makes them. So I thought that was really fun. But that was from Beth. Also at my table was Andrea, and she gave us all a gift card to Cross Stitch Emporium, which is Jenny, who's one of the bougie stitchers, her store, and she had set up a booth. So that was our table gift from Andrea. All right. I believe that was all of the gifts. And then, this was another folder I bought from Deb Pryor. And this is the inside of it. I also purchased from her this amazing blueberry. So I feel like I need to get my stitching tray and put my blueberry in my stitching tray. And then this was the other bag I bought from her. And at her store, she had, these were so stinking cute. She had these different counting pins. And then I've already put 2 of them on my things, but she had like, I guess it's a purple tomato pumpkin. I don't know. It's just pretty. There was also a red tomato, which I have on my scissors already. And an orange. So very fun. And I do not know where it is. Oh, it was on one of my floss. She gave us a teeny tiny one. It was so cute. This was something that someone, a pin that someone had walked around and given out. Thought that was super cute. All right, from Victorian Rose Needle Arts, I purchased this little tin, which I believe she has these on her website. Thought that was really pretty. Some Just the Ticket 40 count, because I've been on the hunt for that. This is Twill Tape by Dames of the Needle in just like a neutral color. And then also Exju Old Sheep. This was another sweet gift passed around. This was a pin. All right, I have one more bag of things. This was my table gift that I passed out. This was an extra. Is some of the felt pumpkins and a journal from Rifle Paper Company. And I like to show the different things because I feel like it gives good ideas. If you're going to a retreat, you can also find fun things. And then, oh goodness, I kept trying to resist buying this, but I just couldn't anymore. I had to have it. This is from Chrissy, Finally a Farm Girl, and I love this sampler so much. I am undecided on the actual house because my favorite part is the top and the letters. So I'm considering stitching it and leaving the house off, so just doing the top. But we'll see. It was stunning. And you get the patterns for all of this in here. There is a lot of floss, but oh my goodness. The model was there and it was just gorgeous. She also gave me one of her Matilda t-shirts. And then from Jenny's shop, Cross Stitch Emporium, I got Squirrel and Thread Pin Keep. This is Stacy Nash. And then I don't have this one either, and I thought this was super cute. Summer House Pin Keep. And that would be another good patriotic piece to be working on for next year. It's not that big. And there's something about Stacy's, which is what got me motivated to work on that other one I showed you. Her little houses, and they have all those windows. They're just so cute. So I'm definitely going to get that going at some point. Some point soon. Chrissy also had, these were for sale at her shop, but they are made by the old needle shop. She had these strawberries. And so I got a couple of these, again, to put in a stitching tray, stitching box. I thought that those were fun. This was also from Cross Stitch Emporium. Like I said, I had the gift card from Andrea, and then also Sweet Tammy Totten gave me a gift card as well, and so I used it for some of these things. A patriotic needle minder, and then this is the floss ring to go with it. And then these are two other little gifts that I got. This was a prayer quilt. This is from Carol McQueen. And she has a little poem on the back, and it says, "I'm a little prayer quilt to hold in your hand to help when trouble arises, those you did not plan. When your fingers touch the cross, there's a cross inside. Remember, God is always by your side. Hold me tight in your hand. It helps calm your fears. And don't be afraid to use me to wipe away your tears." So that's so sweet. I don't know if I have another one of these, if it was from her or someone else, but that was really sweet. And then this is from Lisa Harvey, handcrafted by Harvey. She made these. This is I believe she embroidered that. She has an embroidery machine, and she does lots of beautiful bags. So the little charm, there's some cards and some taffy. And then, and I did get a couple flosses I needed. These are for a friend that couldn't attend. So there's all the little scissor fobs. And that is all. Oh, I did get two things from Needle Orts too. I forgot about. I got some trim, and then I have been looking at this chart. I know it has lots of, like, around the edge, lots of little things, but I just think it's so pretty. I probably would change the purple to a blue, but I don't know. Something about Shakespeare's Peddler, Teresa Vinette, her charts recently, I just have been really drawn to them. So I thought this would be a fun one to be working on. So I bought that from Needle Orts because we went over there to get some floss, and some of the people wanted to go check it out. All right. Now to the giveaway. So the first, if you are entering, you do need to be a subscriber. You need to be over 18 because I have to ask for your address. And you need to like the video and subscribe. Be a subscriber. And I have a couple giveaways for today. So number one is going to be the bag. I'll show it again. It's going to be the bag from Missi Lynn Co. And what she told me is that if you are the winner after the fact, you can reach out to her if you're interested in any of the other components. She said she's pretty sure she has enough fabric to make some of the other parts. And so she can make a stitching mat, she can make the folder, either one of the folders. So if you are the winner, I will send the card with it, and you can reach out to her, and I think she said she would even do a discount on those parts because those will not be free, but you can get some matching parts to your bag. So this is number one. And again, thank you, Missy or Melissa, for sending this and for the other wonderful gifts. I'm enjoying using them. Number two is going to be Folk Art Garden by Teresa Koget. This is number two. And number 3 is going to be the Be Sweet ornaments from Fat Quarter Shop. So you're going to simply leave a comment and use one of the numbers. And today, I believe, is the first day of fall. So what is your favorite fall activity to do with, it can be anything. Food, not food, family, by yourself, at your house, whatever. So what's your favorite fall activity? And then if you're interested, you use 1, 2, or 3 numerical numbers, and I will draw for the winner for next time. So thank you guys so much. Sorry if it was a little choppy along the way. You got the gist. But I also, really quick before I go, I did find one more whip. I did start this piece as well. This is called Acorn Gathering Sewing Roll. I have had a few people reaching out to me about this pattern. I believe the only place you can get it is Brenda's website, and I did check recently and it was on vacation because she was with her granddaughter who was having surgery again. And so if you're interested, just keep checking back. But I did have a small start on that, and this is on Picture This Plus Heartland as well. But again, I figured this would be a fun project to have and then put it in my fall stitching tray, case, whatever you want to call it. So that was my last whip. So now that's everything. I hope you guys have a great week. My intention is always to be back the following Monday, but I don't think life is going to get in the way. If it does, I'll be back the week after. But I should not have any breaks longer than skipping 1 week. But get lots of stitching in. I hope have been hearing it's getting cooler in other places. We're still hot. Hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler. But I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.